Hey, welcome to an overview and review of Independent Lawyer. Independent Lawyer is a boutique law firm here in Panama City in Panama, and we're here right now. I am here with the founders, with Ryan and Tamara. In this video, we're gonna speak about how guys can help you with different things as lawyers here in Panama City. I'm one of their clients, and myself, I'm a seller on Amazon, and also I help people in the Amazon space, connect between people in the Amazon space. My YouTube channels, I have a few blogs. It's great to meet you. Yeah, and guys, can you introduce yourselves? And then we're gonna speak about how you can help people here. In the description, we're gonna have a link to the website of the Independent Lawyer, where you can see more information and many other things that will be relevant. We'll leave them in the description. So guys, good to see you here. How are you doing?
Great.
Great.
Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for the space. Well, guys, my name is Tamara Fernandez. I'm a lawyer here in Panama. As Vova said, we run a boutique law firm. He's my partner.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm from the United States. Actually, I'm her partner in life and also in business. Tamara and I are a married couple. We co-founded the firm together.
Yes, our main services is everything and almost everything related to relocation, residencies, visas, real estate transactions, corporate law, and a little bit of ancillary services around the relocation.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, myself as your client, I'm currently in kind of process of opening bank account here. Generally for my kind of business structure, tax structure, I'm happy to be your client and we're working, so it's pretty cool. Also, I got introduced to your services by my friend Dean with Digital Nomads Israel. I will say in my case, I just wanted to come here, see the country, and meet you guys. So that was my reason, but also as you mentioned, you can just do it remotely, and that's 100% cool as well. Yeah, Ryan, you mentioned that you are a married couple. How did you get together? Can you share the story? It's interesting.
Well, I've been practicing law for a long time, and about 10 years ago, I became independent. All this time, the amount of clients been growing organically, and the last few years, we've been having a lot of clients. Ryan came to work with me just to help me with the clients, a lot of business development, try to create a brand, helping with the webpage, in all the other things that I couldn't cover myself.
Yeah, Tamara and I both were in law school at the same time. I was in law school in the United States, where I'm from. Tamara was in law school here when we were, early in when we were dating, early in our relationship. After law school, I came down to Panama and did real estate work for a little over a decade. And Tamara was building sort of her practice primarily on referrals, like she said. Over the years, it's grown to something much bigger, and she's done more complex work on real estate transactions and that sort of thing. So increasingly, there's been sort of an overlap between our professional lives and capacities. And then at some point, I guess last year, Tamara said 8 months ago, she said, "Why don't you let's formalize this? Come work with me and let's build something together." Part of the Independent Lawyer brand and DNA is it's boutique, it's personalized. So when you start thinking about growth, it's a little bit of a conundrum, because you want to be able to grow, you need to be able to grow a little bit, but you don't want to lose that essence of the business. Us teaming up together has been a way to grow the Independent Lawyer, but also maintain that sort of personalized boutique level of service.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, so you mentioned that you do all these services. Can we go one by one and kind of see more in depth into each service? So shall we start from residency? Yes, I guess that's one of the main services that you do. So residency, what does it mean? How can help people with residency here? What does it mean?
Yes, the first point of contact of a client usually is residency. A lot of people come looking for better weather, a more favorable, better tax structure, or just looking for a better lifestyle and more cost effective. So a lot of people come. Panama has a lot of visas, so we study each case to find the one that is best for the client. A lot of people come because we have a banking system very strong. We use the dollar. Panama have great infrastructure. Panama is a hub for business in general.
Yeah, I would say residency, specifically processing visas, represents probably 60, maybe 70% of the practice. We do work with some local clients particularly like on real estate deals. But like Tamara said, the initial point of contact is usually someone comes and they say, I would like to relocate to Panama, or I would like to, maybe I'm already living in Panama and I want to formalize that. I want to start doing business in Panama, investing in Panama. So we help them to come and stay. Panama, the word we usually use is, this is immigration law at the end of the day. The word that usually gets used among our clients is relocation.
Yeah.
Right? But Panama is consistently referenced by International Living as one of the best destinations in the world for relocation. We have the US dollar-backed economy, political stability, great weather. We're a Copa Airlines hub, so it's a great place to do business from Panama, even if your business has nothing to do with Panama necessarily. You have direct flights to cool locations all over the world every single day. But then whenever, so we'll do a residency visa for a client. Fortunately, they'll then come back to us when they're ready to invest in buy a real estate property, open a bank account, start a company, do a partnership, that sort of thing. The services end up spilling into those areas as well.
Yeah, we're also going to leave in the description your blog, so people, if they want to, let's say, jump deeper into residency, of course they can drop you an email. We're going to have all the contacts in the description as well, but also there's the blog, so there are different blog posts where you can get extra information on the things that Ryan mentioned. Yeah, so that's about residency, I guess, right? All right, so, and also the other thing you mentioned that you do is real estate, so can you explain exactly what that means? Like, how can you help people with real estate here in Panama? And, yeah.
Yes, usually when the client found their property that they are in love with, we will help them with the due diligence of the property, drafting a power of attorney if needed, if they won't be in Panama to close the deal, preparing, reviewing the contracts, doing the deeds and its inscription on the public registry. We've been in the side of the seller and we work with the buyers as well.
Yeah, it's mainly real estate transactional work. Right, so we're not doing, there are attorneys here that are specialized like in titling processes for land that doesn't have clean title. We've participated in some of that type of work before. Most of our work is focused on buying and selling real estate and everything that goes with it. Contract drafting, contract negotiation, deal structuring, making sure that the asset is well positioned for tax purposes, that sort of thing.
So let's say someone wants to buy something here. They need to come here physically, I guess. Let's say I found a place here, I want to buy it. I'm like, okay, I'm liking it, but I have to go home or I have to go continue my travels. How does it work? Do I need to be present here or at some point of the,
Well, I have clients that buy properties without being in Panama, without seeing the property. I usually recommend to come see the property, like know the area, so you don't buy so blindfold. But yes, definitely once you have chosen the property, we can do a power of attorney. If you're in Panama, you can sign it here, or if you leave, you can sign it abroad and do an apostille, meaning that a legalization, international legalization of the document, I can sign in behalf of the clients to close the deal.
Okay. Anything else about real estate would want to add?
Yeah, just that a lot of our clients are sort of inherently sort of transient folks. That have their feet on the ground here part of the year and spend other parts of the year in the United States or Canada or Israel or South Africa or whatever it is. So our business is really set up to be able to facilitate doing things internationally, whether it's a residency process or a real estate deal or even signing something like a will. Always a focus, okay, when are you going to be in Panama? When can you be in Panama? How can we sort of send documents back and forth? We're very good customers of DHL and FedEx, and we're able to do a lot without our clients necessarily having their boots on the ground in Panama.
I guess it also kind of touches on the previous point with the residency part. So also there, people, maybe they would need to come at some point, but most of it can be done like remotely, right?
Well, to get the requirements, I usually ask the client that they provide all the requirements in advance, so we save time. But yes, the residencies usually take about 5 business days in Panama to obtain the provisional residency card. And most of the immigration process, most of the visas are divided in like 2 big steps. The first will be applying, and it will consist in registering the passport, submitting the application, and obtaining a provisional residency card, and will be good for about 6 months. And with that residency card, they can travel in and out the country. The next big step will be the immigration office approve the residency. So I will pick up the resolution that says your residency has been approved, and the person can come back anytime within the window of 2 years. So I have a couple clients, they go back to their countries and don't come back to Panama until next summer. I will be waiting with their resolution so they can go anytime to the immigration office.
All right, so the next one is corporate law, and I'm also getting help from independent lawyer in that space. But can you explain to us what is corporate law, how you can help with that? Like, what is this?
Sure. Yeah. So after residency and real estate, this is probably the third, it's the third branch, it's probably the third biggest practice area. And it's corporate law, for us means helping our clients to incorporate, set up corporate entities, limited liability companies, private interest foundations. We help our clients structure their investment holdings and their assets and restructure their assets if they didn't get it right the first time. We usually talk about it in terms of asset protection, which people usually tend to think about as in terms of limiting liabilities. If someone sues you, an asset that you're holding in a corporate entity, for the most part, is protected from any sort of exposure from that lawsuit. If one asset is involved in a creditor claim or a lawsuit, other assets that are held in separate corporate entities are generally, or the liability is contained, right? But asset protection also means protecting your asset from taxes that you shouldn't be paying. It's setting up your asset for liquidity purposes, making it easier to transfer the asset whenever it comes time to sell, or when it comes time to pass on your asset to your heirs. We use corporations and private interest foundations and estate planning. We also, within the area of corporate law, people set up companies. I'll say this, the corporate law overlaps quite a bit with real estate and even the relocation. Generally, unless you're buying your primary residence in Panama, people tend to want to hold their real estate assets in a company of some type. There are also certain visas. For example, the Italian-Panama treaty visa. One of the paths to getting permanent residency is being the shareholder of a Panamanian corporation. There's also, a corporation facilitates partnerships. If we decide to invest in a piece of real estate together, the easiest way to do that is to put it into a corporation and issue shares to all of us. Now, if we're going to do that, we would be wise to set up a shareholder agreement that sort of sets out the rules of our partnership. So our office processes a lot of those as well.
Okay. And for those, again, physically we need to come or not, or is it done over email or phone, or depends, I guess, but...
As we did with you, we create the corporation prior to your arrival. Yeah, we don't need the client to be sitting in Panama to do a corporation or a private interest foundation.
Okay, awesome. So beside like residency, real estate, and all the things that we mentioned, what else do you guys do? Like how else can you help clients here in Panama?
We help clients opening bank accounts, getting driver's license once they have the residency, reviewing lease agreements, and all the kind of ancillary services around the relocation.
Relocation is the common thread for most of our clients. I immigrated to Panama myself. Actually, Tamara did my residency almost 10 years ago. We've been through, as a couple, a lot of the same sort of processes that our clients are going through. We had to open the bank account. I had to get my driver's license eventually. We've had to set up corporations, and we've invested in real estate and tried to understand the market. We've been through a lot of this. So we're able to provide sort of a unique perspective to help our clients through their whole process. And we try to be a resource, even if it's not an area that we're especially focused on. We always try to be a resource and at least help guide our clients to the right people.
Pretty awesome. So in the description, we're going to have everything that we mentioned, all your services kind of in bullet points. So it's going to be easier for our viewers to understand. And also the link to the blog where they can read more about these different types of services and how you can help clients. And generally your website, and all the contacts, so kind of feel free to drop message to the guys to connect if you need help with all the things that were mentioned. As I'll say again, I'm a client of independent lawyer, and so far things are going well, so I'm happy. So definitely thank you guys. And what else? Mention this video also. Those will help us understand that this actually kind of is working. And just mention, I saw a video on YouTube with Vova, the Amazon seller, the guy from YouTube. And yeah, that would be cool. So thank you for that. Anything else, guys, you'd like to add before we finish the video?
Well, thanks again for the space. We will be happy to help everybody that is thinking to structure their business here and get a better tax strategy. So we're here.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.